Hello, everybody. How is everyone on this lovely Tuesday night?
Wet, I'm sure.
Yeah. I just walked in the door and it is crazy wet out there.
And she's being mauled by the dog because he's missed her all day.
Yeah. So he's going to probably be right up in my grill, too.
He's part of the live tonight.
Part of the live. So, yeah. Anything new besides flooding and more flooding?
And we got some rain.
We got a little rain.
We got a little rain.
It's just been raining. It's been lots of rain. Garden's growing good.
Garden's doing really good. We can keep the cat out, which I'll be putting a fence up as soon as the flooding subsides.
You got the fences up? Got the electric fence up?
Yep, all the fences are done. And they've all tested the hot wire on top, so they don't come nowhere near it anymore, so we're good there. And we got our solar dryer all installed.
Yep, solar dryer. Yep.
AKA clothesline. Not that you can use it right now. Of course, you probably could use it and bypass the washer altogether.
Spinach.
We got 2 inches today.
Oh, I was going to ask you.
According to the rain gauge, 2 inches.
It was crazy in McAllister.
Yeah.
It was absolutely crazy. In fact, I didn't end up doing my running around till 4:30.
Yeah.
Because it was that bad.
Yeah, it was bad here too. But, yeah, he's going to lay out there. He thinks he's in charge.
I think he is.
Anyway. We got things coming up. When is the Eufaula thing? Mid-America?
Mid-America is on the 17th. YouTube Meet and Greet. MP Homestead is sponsoring that. So everybody come out if you can. That's I want to say it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but I'm not positive. I don't know the details on that one.
We could actually probably do more than one day since it's so close. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I can't do Friday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. We normally don't get to do the weekend thing when it's so far away because we don't have anyone to take care of the animals. So we have to pretty much just stick to the 1 day deal.
Yep.
There hasn't really been a lot going on with all of this weather.
No, lots of weather.
And I've tried to mow in between the raindrops, and I got some of it done.
As soon as this weather stops, we're going to start on Earthbag building, though, right?
Yeah, as soon as we get a little drier, we'll start building your little craft room or whatever.
Sorry.
And there'll be a lot more filming of that, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm kind of excited to get started on that. That'll be a learning project.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Duncan.
I know y'all didn't get any rain. We've gotten more than our share of rain.
Well, if you got 2 inches today, we already had 8 inches.
Well, I don't know if was it 8?
Yep, we got 4 in that 1 day.
Yeah.
So we've gotten 10 inches of rain.
In the last week.
Week
and a half. Because we did get a couple of days of sunshine.
He said barrels full.
Yeah, barrels full.
Ed Earl.
Which is a good thing when you're off grid to have barrels full of water.
Yeah. We had to have water catchment to do that.
which that's something else we're going to start. We'll start the water catchment when it quits raining. I know that makes a lot of sense, but that's where we're at.
What else is going on?
There's really not a lot going on
because of all the rain. Got some stuff going on with the Homestead Rendezvous. TNT Homestead are gonna speak. They live off grid.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yep.
I think I don't know.
Terry and Tracy.
They're the only ones besides us, aren't they?
I don't know. I know they're off grid because I talked to them. Oh yeah, the rattlesnake was on the road. The picture of the rattlesnake that I posted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't here.
That was about what, 5 miles from here.
Was it that far?
Yeah, because I don't know, maybe a couple, something like that, but it wasn't right here. We've been really fortunate. We've been here I'll be here 3 years next month, and we haven't seen a rattlesnake on the property, knock on wood, or a copperhead.
But they've been right out on the road.
Yeah, and we've seen bull snakes or king snakes or whatever, and a lot of garter snakes.
And moccasin.
We got moccasins and water snakes. I haven't seen any moccasins this year. I've seen water snakes.
Yeah, I've seen water snakes down there, but that's it.
They're not moccasins.
But we've had otters so far this year,
too. Yeah, we've had otters a few times.
Dog.
So I think they kind of help keep it cleaned out of the snakes.
Stop it.
They come and stay for a couple of days every 2 or 3 weeks, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot going on with all this weather.
Yeah.
Getting muddy. It's such a joy to feed the animals and stuff in the weather.
I checked the weather before I came home, and it said it's supposed to be clear tomorrow, but then yucky Thursday and Friday again.
Yeah, that changes on an hourly basis.
Stop.
They can't make up their mind. What's that say?
Oh, it's just scanning for viruses. That's that. You know, that surf shark.
Oh, yeah. Greg, I hope y'all are going to be in Eufaula on the 17th.
Yeah.
Or whenever it is.
It is the 17th.
17th.
Well, it's the 16th and 17th.
16th and 17th. Oh, I thought it was 3 days.
It might be 3 days. I don't know. That's what I said. I don't know the details on it.
I don't know anything. And I try to keep it that way.
Dog, we're going to have problems. He's biting my wrists.
Well, he's happy to see you.
That's not happy to see you.
For him it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably all we're going to do too is Saturday.
Yeah.
Chris works Friday.
Yeah, I can't take Fridays off, so. I do have Saturday off, but we'll go up all day because we can stay longer.
Yeah, it's only about an hour and a half from here.
What do you think that's like?
Yeah, it's an hour to go.
Well,
An hour and a half thereabouts, so we'll be there probably pretty early Saturday morning.
yeah. That means we can leave him home. Yeah, you.
Depends on the weather.
It's not. We got, I got someone to a van, for
Saturday?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Or for Friday.
Oh, yeah, Friday.
Yeah. Stop, please.
So what do y'all got going on? Anything special?
We don't have anything.
No, we've got a lot to do.
Yeah.
I've got the fencing for the garden, and I've got the posts in, but the rain has just shut everything down. Makes it hard to do anything.
I would like to get some restream started so we can do restream on our lives.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, you guys are about the same as us away from there, I would think.
Yeah, probably. Now, we're a little further, I think, because it's an hour to McAllister. And then it's another half hour or so, 45 minutes to Eufaula. Not
Yeah.
a half hour. Probably.
Yeah, maybe.
But I hope it's not raining. I mean, it was.
It's not supposed to, I don't think.
And it wasn't bad at 10 killer.
I don't know. I don't know if it is or not.
And it rained at 10 killer, but it wasn't too bad.
Oh, fine. That's what we need to do on our big garden.
Yeah.
We've only got the little one done. Stop.
Yeah. It's hard to till in the mud. I mean, I've tilled it once, but we want to do a different one too. So.
Yeah.
But the corn, everything in this one is doing really good though.
Yeah. Most part it's doing.
We got the trellis put up yesterday.
Day before.
So we got some place for the beans and all that to grow up.
Yeah, got beans and peas and cucumbers to go on it. Stop.
Squash. I don't know if the squash is going to go on it or not.
I mean, it can.
I don't know. We'll see. But there's not a whole lot going on.
No. I'm more excited about our building.
I know. There's a whole lot more going on inside my head, but it doesn't translate to the flood. I might have to build an ark.
Yes. May have to do an ark.
I've got two houses I need to tear down, but
that's true too.
There's so much.
Oh, really? We're pretty fortunate about the poison ivy thing.
Yeah, and it doesn't bother me. Poison ivy, poison oak, I can climb all through it. It does nothing to me.
Oh, yeah, it's bad on me.
Yeah, I know, but it's never done anything to me, at least so far anyway. People used to call me to come tear it off their fences because they knew it didn't affect me. I guess you got to be allergic to it. I don't know how it works, but it's never made me break out or anything.
Yeah. We don't really have it here though.
No, I haven't seen any of it here.
I mean, we might have, but
I've been you can't tell by me. I was going to say I've been all through the woods, but I don't break out, so I don't know if it's out there or not. Maybe I ought to send you through the woods. And if you come back all broke out, then I'll know we have it.
You don't know.
No, I don't know.
What else? Anything exciting?
We live off grid. There's not really excitement. I mean,
I did tell someone that we lived off grid today, and he was like, "You're kidding me, right?" I'm like, "No, we really do."
Yeah.
And he goes, "And you did that on purpose?"
Yeah. We don't even have the opportunity to be on grid here. Not really.
I mean, we could if we wanted to pay a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, I know that down the road about a mile and a half, some people down there, they moved in and they ran their power, and I guess it was like $21,000 or something like that.
That's
And,
a lot.
But nothing will bring water.
Yeah, no, there's no way to get water.
No way to get
unless
water.
you get a well.
Yeah, no. From what I understand out here, it's a pretty good chance that any well you drill is going to be full of sulfur. I guess that could be uh, filtered out. Most of the people out here, believe it or not, pull water out of their pond and filter that,
Yeah.
and that's what they use in their house. I only know of one well out here that's any good, and no one lives there. It's kind of a weekend cabin for Kurt and them up here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really the only well I know of that's any good around here. I know that several people have tried to drill wells, but it hasn't worked out.
You are full of it tonight.
The water is just, it's no good. So, and we got to have water for my coffee.
Yeah. I guess we could do kind of a where we started from where we are now. So in 2022, in May of 2022, well, no, actually, we bought it in April, and you moved here June 1st.
I moved here June 1st.
Slept in the truck till August.
Yeah, till August.
And we were robbed in June.
Yeah, while I was down visiting my parents.
And yeah, so he slept in the truck. And how much work did you do here? It was raw land.
Yeah,
nothing.
There was nothing. The only thing that was here was my truck.
And then the shipping container.
And the shipping container showed up probably about 2 weeks after I got here. And that's really the reason I came down before her was we knew the shipping container was coming. And then, of course, it was way late getting here. And so I sat here. And then I did have the enclosed trailer with a load of stuff from the house.
Yeah.
With me. And so when the shipping container got here, I unloaded the enclosed trailer into the shipping container, and then that's where everything got stolen out of the shipping container.
Yeah. And then I came in August.
Okay, I went back up and we got here.
Yeah, and we brought everything.
Brought everything in.
And
how many trips did I make? 2 or 3? 3, wasn't it? I think it was
no,
3.
you only made 2 to get our stuff.
Well, I had to bring the trailer. The camp trailer.
Yeah, but you brought that down first and left it at your parents'.
Yeah. But that's still 3 trips.
Yeah, that's true.
So we have a 23-foot enclosed trailer that we bought new back in
17 or 18?
No,
was it
21, 22, something.
Wasn't in 22. I don't know.
Anyway, but it sat there we never even used it for 2 years because we knew what we wanted it for.
So it couldn't have been a 22 because we moved here.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I'm old. And anyway, it took 2 loads in that plus the vehicles because I put a topper on my truck and filled it full.
Yeah.
We actually brought our chickens 1,400 miles.
Our chickens, the fox,
The wolf and the dog.
yep, and the cat.
Okay.
Stop!
But every gas station we stopped at.
That was fun. I should have filmed that.
Yeah, everybody flocked around. They wanted to see, because the wolf was in the front of the truck, front seat.
Yeah.
And it's obvious he was a wolf, and so everybody's freaking out about that. Plus the chickens in the back of the truck.
And the fox.
And the fox.
And then I had all the dogs and the cat with me.
So we were like a circus coming across the country.
Yeah. Yeah. And there was 3 of us. His dad had his car.
Yeah. My son had his car. So it was,
Oh no, he didn't come the second trip, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
It was quite the epic journey. No,
he didn't come the second one.
No, the first one because he went down to mom and dad
Texas.
in
Yeah.
Texas. But so I made this. But he was with me. Seems like he was. Didn't he still come? He just didn't take his car. I don't remember. Anyway, um,
I don't remember.
it was quite the epic journey. Let me tell you. I put brand new tires on the truck, and 3 of them blew out on the trips, which is crazy.
Yep. So then we get here in August. That night at like 10 o'clock at night, we immediately build pens for animals.
Yeah, yeah, we had to do it right then because
Mayhem didn't have anywhere to go.
no, none of them did because the pens were on the back of our friend's 40-foot flatbed because it had rat tilde on it
And my
your
truck.
old 75 truck, and the dog runs.
Oh yeah, I forgot the dog runs were on there.
Yeah, so we had to put all of those together before we could do anything with the dogs and stuff.
Yep, that makes sense. And then the next day you had, and we didn't have the trailer here because you had taken it back to your parents.
Yeah,
So then the next day you had to drive to Texas to pick up the trailer.
Yeah, I had to make coffee on the front tire of my truck with an inverter that I had plugged in.
The dog kennel sitting by the tire.
Yeah. So,
I took pictures of that. I saw pictures of that.
It was a great time, let me tell you.
And then, so the second night we had a trailer to sleep in. And we converted, that was later on. Then we converted the enclosed trailer into my office for a while.
Yeah. Listen, when we jump in all the way.
It was really an adventure.
Yeah.
We were camping for about
a long time.
Showering with water jugs.
Yeah, we had a shower tent, and you could set the jugs in the sun all day, and then the water was a little hot, but
and then
Greg, it was quite the adventure.
It was an adventure.
But
I wish I would have filmed it all.
I know.
I didn't even think about it. I knew we were going to do this, but I didn't.
Yeah, we were a bunch of newbies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so if you're going to go off-grid completely to raw land, all you need is a blanket and a vehicle.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have anything.
Mm-mm.
But we made it through.
Yep.
And I wouldn't go back. I don't ever want to go back. Hopefully we don't ever find ourselves in that position. I think I'd go crazy.
You think?
Yeah, I don't think I could readapt back to civilization.
That makes sense.
Because out here I don't have to behave. We've got two neighbors. I mean, the closest neighbor is a mile. I clocked it out. It's a mile. It's about a mile to either one of them.
Yeah, that makes
And when I say we only have 2 neighbors, there's another neighbor, but we only
associate with 2 neighbors.
Yeah, and they're really good neighbors. We got so lucky. The night that they delivered the shipping container is when we met the one. I met the one neighbor, and he come down, and I don't know. We kind of just hit it right off, and ever since
they're great people.
Oh, great people! They are.
And
awesome
he's
people.
been out here his whole life. He lives on his family's homestead.
Yeah, he lives. He lives on his family's property. He doesn't live in the house he grew up in. But matter of fact, that's 2 of the houses I have to tear down belong to them.
Yep.
So
The original house.
Yeah, the original house.
Houses.
Houses.
Yeah. And then the other people moved down here just before we did, and still live in a RV. Yeah, they're still building their house.
Yeah.
But they're pretty much off grid. Oh no, they have power.
No, they're the ones who paid the $21,000 to have power.
They have power, but they don't have.
They do rainwater.
Yeah, they do rainwater. They're set up for rainwater.
Yeah.
And they have cows.
Cows and goats.
Chickens.
Chickens and dogs.
Yeah. So they're kind of like doing what we're doing, but they're not involved in the community.
Yeah. I think they would be.
No, we actually know who stole the stuff, and that neighbor was not here at that time.
Yeah, no.
They weren't a neighbor out here.
Yeah, and actually, we know now who did it, and there's not really much we can do about it. He's already serving time. They got him on something else.
Yeah.
So.
But we will never get our stuff back.
No, we'll never get our stuff back. We made it through that. And we just moved on. The worst part was having to rebuy everything again.
Yeah. Well, and there is stuff that like we can't replace, like my wedding rings and stuff like that. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Now we're here.
Yeah, and
well, and then we started building stuff. So we got the bigger camper.
Which was the
and you built all the dog runs and the goat pens.
Yep.
And then you built the small corral for the horse and cow when they got here.
Yep.
And then you built the chicken run.
And the coop, the chicken coop.
Yeah.
That was out of.
You did the run first.
Yeah. Well,
and then when we first got here, and then you did the coop.
Yeah.
And then you did the pump house.
Pump house.
But you did the shed so we could move out of the camper.
Yeah. And we got really lucky. There were some people that were out here and they decided this wasn't for them for whatever reason. And they just packed up their trucks and their campers and they left everything. And
in the middle of the storm.
Yeah, and I talked to them and they told me that we could have any of it we wanted, and they left a 12 by 20?
Yeah, it's 12 by 20.
12 by 20 shed. So I brought the shed down and turned it into a house. It wasn't the plan to turn it into a house.
But we didn't want to live in the camper in storms.
The camper in the storm in the winter time.
It was miserable.
So I turned the shed into a tiny house. Sorry, a tiny house.
New campers aren't what they used to be.
They sure ain't.
It kind of fell apart. The oven blew up.
The oven blew up.
The door.
The front door was bad when we got it. Brand spanking new.
Yeah, it was
They
brand
had
new.
to change the kitchen faucet
Before
at
we
the
left.
dealership before we even left with it.
And it still had the plastic on everything.
So, and the shower in the bathroom leaked from day one.
From day one.
So, yeah. I'm done with camp trailers.
I miss our little one.
I miss our little one. It was made by the Amish and it was perfect. It had no problem.
Yeah.
Never had a single problem out of it. And we had it. We got it in 2016.
So we had that till 22.
Yeah, so 2022. Never had any problem with it. It was just small because we bought it to just camp in. We didn't plan on it. This was before this plan came about.
Yeah. Well, in the middle of all of this, my dad passed and your mom passed within 6 weeks of each other.
Yeah, and
then a really good friend of ours passed the next January.
Yeah.
So that was in the middle of all of this.
And we ran this whole place on a generator.
On 4 generators.
Yeah, because
they kept breaking.
Yeah, we got 4 different generators from Harbor Freight, right up to the point where Harbor Freight told us don't come back.
We're blacklisted.
Yeah, they wouldn't deal with us anymore in generators.
Yep.
So, but then we finally got the solar system built, which that was, and even to this day, even right now, to me, that solar system seems like magic.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, it's just sitting there in the yard, the panels are, and we just have electricity.
So let's go into that a little bit. You've made the plans for the solar system.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time,
a year,
learning about solar systems. Everything I could find out about solar systems, from little RV solar systems to solar systems that run, businesses. I learned about windmills. I actually built a windmill at one point. We didn't buy it. I actually made it from scratch, and it worked. But the one thing you find out about windmills is they're very unreliable as far as power goes. It's nice to have a windmill as just kind of there to help out, but you can't really depend on windmills for your power. So I learned everything I could learn about.
And then you learned about the companies to get your stuff from.
Yeah, I researched all the companies, and we actually bought our solar panels from Santan Solar out of Phoenix, Arizona.
Well, Scottsdale.
I don't know if I could teach that stuff, Greg. The problem with it is once I decided which direction I was going to go, I focused all my attention on that direction, and there's so many different directions you can go. I mean, they're basically, very similar.
I think you should teach too,
But so I sat down with a piece of paper and figured out wattage usage and amp hours, and I learned all that stuff, and I blueprinted out a solar system, and we bought the pieces to build it
piece by piece,
and the panels and the batteries was the most expensive part, but we started out with small, battery-wise. Anyway, we didn't.
He wants to know about solar. He can help you.
I mean, I would tell you everything I know, but that doesn't mean you'd know anything when I got done telling you. But anyway, I did a lot of YouTube at a university. I did the internet paperwork, just reading articles. And so I designed a solar system I thought would work. The only thing we didn't really skimp on was solar panels.
Yeah, we did.
I wanted to make sure that we had plenty of solar panels. And then when we finally got ready, we built the solar rack, and it actually moves. I can move it, not to follow the sun, but I can move it for seasons, because the sun is lower in the sky in the winter times. But the truth is, we got so many solar panels, I never had to move it.
Yeah.
It just works all year round right where it is.
And
it's 32 feet long and 12 feet high.
And our batteries got stolen. Well, everything got stolen except for their solar panels.
Yeah, they stole our inverter, our charge controllers, all of that stuff.
So we had to buy all that back.
Yeah, buy it again.
But one battery is not enough.
No.
2 batteries is not enough.
We run on 2 batteries. We have 4, but I've got to build a rack, what they call a server rack, to put the batteries in. But so when we finally got around to it, I put up all the solar panels. I run all the wiring. I run it's a hybrid inverter charger. Hooked everything up and turned the switch on, and we haven't been without power since. It worked from the minute I turned it on. Never missed a beat. The only time we ever miss a beat is if we have like 3 days of bad weather with no sun. But now we have what's called a charge verter. So I can charge all the batteries up from about 40%, 30 something percent, 40% to fully charged in 2 hours. And that'll last another 2 or 3 days if we have bad weather. So we only have to run the generator for about 2 hours.
Yeah. So that's the improvements that we've made since getting it.
Yeah, because before the charge verter, we would have to run the generator till the sun came back and charged everything up.
Yeah.
But now I don't even, this thing will automatically turn it. We don't have a generator with an electric start. I had to pull it, it's manual. But if we had one that was an automatic start, this charge verter would start it and shut it off. I wouldn't even have to touch it. When the batteries got down to a certain level, it would just start the charge. And I want to get a generator that starts on its own, but I want a diesel generator because they just last a lot longer. But anyway, that's how that all came out. We actually have videos on YouTube about with our solar system.
And our breakdown of our cost. Yeah. But, I mean, we can update buying the charge verter,
and
more batteries. And then when we bought more batteries, we had to buy an updater.
Yeah, but it was only like $10. You just plug it in.
You still had to update batteries. That was a step.
I had to update the old batteries that we already had so that they would run with the new batteries, even though it's the same brand and all of that. The software on the new batteries was newer, so. And I got to be honest with you, this solar system, other than when the sun is gone for 3 days, it has never missed a beat. I mean, it just runs flawlessly.
Yeah.
It runs everything, the microwave, mini split, refrigerator, all of it. It'll run. So, Greg, I would tell you what I know, but that doesn't mean that you would know anything when I got done, because I don't really know a lot about it, except what I just taught myself. But there's a lot of good YouTube videos out there. There's a guy named Will Krause that probably knows more about solar systems than anybody on YouTube. And he has a lot of videos.
And what else?
And we do have the new fancy fangled solar dryer, clothes dryer, that is installed now.
Yeah.
We got that.
He calls it the solar dryer.
Yeah, it's a solar dryer.
Yeah.
Runs off the
clothesline.
sun. Yeah, it's a clothesline, but it runs off the sun. That's solar.
And there hasn't been any for a really long time.
That's true.
I was all excited to use it.
She got rained out. It's I will tell you, solar systems and how they operate is highly addictive.
They scare me to death.
I guess it's like anything else that you like to do. It's just very addictive.
You need to move the camera over there and.
But it's like when I build them old hot rod cars. It's addictive. You think you're just going to have one car to build, and the next thing you know, you look around and there's 5 or 6 of them sitting there that need to be redone.
It is a good way to power your buildings.
Yeah, this runs our well pump. It runs everything. We have a 120 volt, 1 horsepower well pump with a pressure tank. We don't have a well, but I've plumbed it to the IBC tote, so it doesn't know that it's not hooked to a well, and so it runs everything. I mean, it'll run all my power tools, and I have table saws and chop saws and all of that.
Well, plus it was running my whole computer. when I was working from
Yeah,
home.
when she was working from home, it ran her whole computer. And it had
And
3 monitors and a
3
docking station, and it had everything. It's never missed a beat. We've never even reached its capacity.
Yeah.
We've never pushed it. I think the most we've ever pushed it is not even half of what the inverter will put out. And we have another inverter that you can install in parallel, so it will double your power. But we kind of got that as a in case of, because even if warranty work is going to be done, what are you going to do while they're doing it? So we have another one. It's still in the box. I never even opened the box, so that if something happens, we'll have it. Plus, when we build the house, it'll be a lot bigger house. We can always expand it.
Yep. Well, and I want eventually to be able to run all my craft stuff and everything. Are you gonna? Well, I know, but aren't you gonna build my own system?
Yeah, when I make your little sea shed out of HyperAdobe Earthbag, it'll have its own solar system.
So the plan is to build a small 500 square foot house, and then build outbuildings around it to form a courtyard.
Yeah, and those will all be like, the extra buildings will be like bedrooms.
Yeah, it's like a couple extra bedrooms, and then my office.
And we're going to build an outdoor kitchen, a big outdoor kitchen.
Off of the main house.
Yeah, because we want the outdoor space, the living space. We like it outdoors better anyway. But when the weather's good anyway, we sat out there. Last year I sat out there till well after dark. I'd sit out there till 11 o'clock at night, because I only get 3-4 hours a night, something like that.
Yeah, but the frogs are going.
And I just love it.
It's just so peaceful.
Yeah, I go to bed somewhere between 1 and 2 in the morning, and sometimes even later than that.
I mean, we're 17 miles from a town.
Yeah. So, and then when it gets dark out here, it's dark. I can see all the stars. I just love it out here. And since I don't sleep, like when in the wintertime, it's really hard on me because I don't sleep.
Cabin fever.
I get cabin fever at night. But I've been that way my whole life.
Yeah.
She goes to bed about 10 every night, so I'm up till 1 or 2, 3.
So do you think, this is off topic, do you think that the solar system that we have now would run incubators?
Yeah. Well, and it's the way I designed it, I could actually put 4 of these hybrid inverters in parallel. 4 of them. We're only using 1 now. I can put 4 of them. I can get it. It can be. It'll go up to 30 kilowatt inverters. That's 30,000 watts of power.
So when we're ready to actually expand the homestead and start doing that,
I don't think incubators take that much.
I don't know. It just depends on the incubator, I think.
Yeah, I don't think. Because
I know, like, freeze dryers are ridiculous.
Freeze dryers is another story. But even a freeze dryer, the problem with the freeze dryer is you have to have a lot of batteries, because the freeze dryer has to run for
a couple days.
Yeah, all through the night. I mean, if it was just a daytime thing.
Well, yeah, but incubators do the same thing.
Yeah, but they don't take near the power. Freeze dryers, you can ask Jack. I'm not sure about the wattage. I could look it up, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
for incubators, because we run all the heat lamps for the chicks and all of that stuff, and the heating pad things.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't have any heat lamps anymore, but
No, we don't have chicks
The-
anymore.
no, but since I got those pads, I use those.
I mean, in the daytime, you wouldn't have no problem running a freezer. It's through the night. And if you got enough batteries, then that wouldn't be a problem either.
That's true.
It's a battery situation. Batteries are the key to everything. I see so many people, and I've got a friend back where we used to live that he spent a lot of money on a solar system, solar panels, inverters, all of that, and tied it into the utility company so that it would offset his bill. The problem was he had no batteries. So if the electric company's power went off,
So did his
so
solar.
does his. Yeah, the solar went off too.
So there was no real reason to
Yeah,
have.
well, except that he didn't have a light bill anymore.
Oh,
I think he said his highest light bill after they got their solar was like $20 1 month. But normally he didn't have any light bill.
oh. So why did he turn it? Okay, never mind. Because you have to have the electricity there.
Yeah, because it goes through all the metering and all of that stuff.
Okay.
So if the power went off, so did his power.
Right.
And batteries are where it's at. And you can never have too many batteries. Never, never, never. We have 20 kilowatts of, we have 20, just over 20 amp hours of battery right now. I want to have at least 30 to 35 amp hours of battery. So 30 amp hours is 6 batteries. They're just over 5 amp hours a piece. The ones we have. But ours have their own built-in BMSs, their own computers, and they actually even have heaters in them.
So
Those batteries won't charge if it gets below 32 degrees.
dumb it down for me. What's the BMS?
BMS, that's Battery
BMS.
Management System.
Battery management system. Okay.
It controls how the batteries charge. And it's got heat sensors and
And these
cold
are
sensors.
EG4s, correct?
Yeah. They're EG4 Life Power 4 batteries. They're 100 amp hours each. They're 5.2 kilowatt hours each one. Anyway, that's the solar system that we're boring you all with. Sorry.
No, I mean, this is good because this gives everyone an idea of what we've done out here. Like,
Yeah.
this was raw land.
Yeah. Nothing but. We were really lucky. We got a property with a pond.
Yeah, we did. Our pond's about a half acre, maybe more.
No, it's not. And our whole property is sloped.
Jesus, it's not boring.
Our whole property is pretty well sloped.
Yeah, it's sloped, and so water runs through it.
Yeah.
That's what we should have named it.
Water runs through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
But-
we have a pond in front of the door.
Yeah. Well, a river.
But but it, like,
Greg knows, he's been here.
yeah.
But I will eventually do some dirt work, so a lot of it gets semi at least flattened out. And
Well, we will have to in the
and I want to do drainage around the property line so that I can keep any water that is on up the mountain on other people's property from running across ours, because we have wet weather creeks here. We have 3 of them 4 of them on our property.
Yeah, now.
4 wet weather creeks on the property.
And possibly a spring.
So, yeah, and maybe a spring. So if I can dig a ditch with the backhoe along the upper side of the property, then we can channel the water into the wet weather creeks, and we'll only get the water that actually falls on our property. Right now, it runs for days because it's coming down off the mountain.
So we're building a moat.
Yeah, we're building a semi-moat.
Yeah, Deb, we're building a moat. She'll watch this.
But anyway, it's a never-ending battle, and you know, in Oklahoma, come springtime, you're gonna get rain,
Yeah.
and it's not a bad thing. It's just hard to do anything.
Is that a spider, or is that a
It could be.
wasp?
We live in the woods.
Or is that a wasp? Oh, dog. I don't know what he did, but
I don't know, but he got involved.
I think it's a spider. I don't know. I can't tell.
We can name it if you want. Well, I don't even see it. Where is it?
Over by your guitar now.
Oh, I see.
I don't want to sleep with the bug. Okay.
It's like a wasp. It may be a spider. I'll be right back.
I don't want to sleep with the bug.
Some kind of a grasshopper.
I don't want to sleep with that either. That's what happens when you live in the woods, I guess.
Yeah. And I've cleared out a lot of the woods, but
Yeah. We still have scorpions.
yeah. I forgot about those neighbors.
Yeah. We have cicadas.
Lots of those.
Lots of grasshoppers.
Lots of grasshoppers.
Lots
of frogs.
Yeah, lots of frogs.
Lots of
Lots of frogs. Dina told me that the grasshoppers ate all their elderberries last year.
I believe it.
So
and we don't want to use anything on the bugs because we want the bees. That's another thing we want to do. I guess I'm going to have to do bees like I did the solar system, and we're just going to have to dive in and learn everything we can learn about bees.
Well, the good thing about that is we have Monty Shrimp.
Yeah.
And I have Sweet Stingers, Jason from Sweet Stingers that he wanted to come too. I need to get a hold of him.
Yeah, I don't like scorpions either. And here in the summertime, I can sit outside in the evening and they'll just start coming out, walking across the ground.
Yeah, I don't like them either. I rolled over on my bed in Phoenix and got stung on my hip.
And that would be why she doesn't like sleeping with bugs.
Yeah, I don't like sleeping with bugs.
They're nothing huge here. At least I think the biggest one I found out here is probably
That's
about
huge.
that long.
That's huge. He's eating the box that your stuff's in.
Yeah.
The ticks are ridiculous.
Especially this year, they weren't that bad last year. Of course, I've been in the woods a lot more running fence.
You've been in the woods a lot, but the grass is
Long.
extremely deep.
Yeah, because we haven't been able to.
They do glow with a black light. We did find that out.
Yeah. They don't glow near as much when they're flat.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of wildlife that I don't want, to unalive, as they say on YouTube. Scorpions aren't one of them. Matter of fact, the other day I trapped in the lot. We went and got a live trap, and we did trap a possum, and I carried it. I put it in the truck and took it down the road about, 6-7 miles.
Yeah.
Maybe a little further than that, and let it go. I didn't move to the woods off grid out here in the middle of nowhere to unalive everything. So
Yeah. We have a problem with possum, and we have a problem with raccoons.
Raccoons, they're a little harder to trap. They're not harder to trap, but it seems like when you trap them and let them go somewhere,
they want to eat your face.
Well, and they always seem to be back.
Yeah.
I need to spray paint them.
There you go.
To see if it's the same one.
There you go.
Because it seems like they just come back.
Yeah.
Possums, they don't come back.
Well, the possum, I wouldn't care if they were here, except for they eat the eggs and the chickens.
Yeah.
And they give the horse EPM.
Yeah, they definitely get in the coop. Possums do get in the coop and get eggs. I know for a fact.
Yeah,
we caught him.
We caught one sleeping. He was on his lunch break.
Yeah, and this was in the daytime.
Yeah, well, he was curled up asleep in the corner, so yeah. I don't know how long he'd been there.
No, he ate several eggs and then took a nap.
Yeah. That's what I said, it was on his lunch break.
And raccoons, possums aren't so bad, but raccoons are not friendly creatures.
No.
So it's hard to know. And we got one out here that's been out here every night now for a week.
It's a big one too.
And he's big, and I may try to set the trap and get him. I don't know how I'm going to get him out of it afterwards. Is my problem. And you cannot scare them off. No. You can do. And
he's not afraid of the dogs.
No, and I've shot next to him.
Yeah.
Our dog, well, the problem is at night, especially in the nighttime, that's when the raccoons come around. We've got, well, Greg, you've seen, we've got that big enclosure that we made for the dogs, the big yard. It's fenced in. It's not like
we don't let them run when we're not out there.
We don't let them run at night because we have a lot of coyotes out
here. Yeah, and I mean, we don't have close neighbors, but the other neighbors have a lot of animals, a lot of dogs, and we don't want issues.
Yeah, it's always, you got to take care of your animals. It's up to you to make sure they're safe. And I know the one is a Great Pyrenees, but still, I don't know if he could take on the coyotes that are out here, and I'm afraid he would try to.
Oh, he would try to.
And
you saw him; he didn't shut up the whole time you were here.
And he doesn't bother the goats. He doesn't bother the chickens. He's totally good with all. The only thing I've ever seen him get was he got a armadillo. He was carrying an armadillo. It wasn't grown, but I made him let it go, and he did. He let it go. And there was a skunk in his doghouse.
Oh, but he didn't even try and get that.
Well, he was barking at him, but he didn't try to get him. He wasn't stupid.
And the skunk didn't spray him.
No, skunk didn't spray him.
And then Shaggy.
Well, he's really good with all the animals. He will get rats.
Oh yeah, he got rats.
But I just don't want to leave him out at night. When we get the place completely fenced, that's different because we're not using barbed wire or anything. We're using field fence, and I put a hot wire at the top of the field fence above the top of it. But anyway,
we can't let the other dogs out. Well, it's 8 o'clock, guys. So
we sure appreciate y'all tuning in to our collaborating.
Yep. Leonard Mountain Homestead is on now.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anyone after them. I guess I better learn the schedules.
Yeah, but we'll see you over there.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all coming and supporting us on the channel. So like and subscribe if you haven't. Y'all have a good night.
We'll catch you later. It's good chatting with you. Good night.